Good? All right, thanks. All right, we've got Ari's piece here today. I'm going to do an ear demo. So just a quick reminder, if we've cut our face roughly in thirds, 1, 2, 3, the ear will fall in that middle third. The second reminder about the ear, which Ari already has in place, is that it is not vertical. The front does not sit vertically on the face. It kind of it follows the jaw. So here's the jawline of her sculpture, which is great, and ear is in good position. Key for the ear, the most key thing of all, is that your ear hole, Stella. Okay, look at Stella. So look, you see right here, Stella's ear hole. Okay, so we've got Stella's ear hole and we've got the mastoid process behind the ear. The mastoid process has a muscle, the sternocleidomastoid, one of my favorite muscles. Let's show it on my neck. It's this one that you see when people turn their heads. See that, sort of, even with my beautiful mask. The sternocleidomastoid attaches to this nodule that's behind the ear canal, and it goes down. It attaches back here, and to the front portion of the clavicle. So this muscle is what is a very major defining factor of the neck. If you don't have it, your neck will look like it's floating off into space. See if we can see. Yes, we can on Ari, right here. Right here, sternocleidomastoid coming down and attaching to the clavicle. Okay, so super important. Another thing that I've said to a lot of you individually, but I don't know if I've said in a demo, is that I want you to pay special attention. We're going to use Ari's photograph again here, to this line of the neck. And notice that the line of your neck can be connected directly between the eyebrows. Boop. If you have your neck sculpted like this, vertically, your head will never feel like it's sitting on a body. It'll feel like it's, again, floating in space. If you keep this connection here, and Ari has it, I'm going to give her just a little bit more. Bye. A little more, because there's the hyoid bone right here, more prominent in males. You see our hyoid bone on Stella. But we all have it. It is what protects our esophagus. And while we're under here, Ari, I'm going to give your chin just a little
more chub.
It's not even chub. It's like it needs a little more skin.
Oh yeah.
It was just a little like
it's too skeleton-y.
Too skeleton-y, exactly. And part of that is because of the super narrow, just a little bit. It's like putting the skin with that little bit of fat, because that fat's important, and under, it's a layer under all of our skin. There. Just kind of softens the face right up. Okay. So we have our ear canal here, and her ear canal, which we've marked some of you with the metal tabs. So I'm going to put that kind of back in. Where's that ear canal? There's the ear canal. Really important to note that the ear And I hope, are you okay if I remove some of your hair?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna remove some of this hair just so you guys can see what's happening back here. And just a reminder that everyone has to do at least one ear. You can cover your other one with hair. But I want everyone to try and do one ear. All right. The ear is cartilage. Look at my ear. Maybe you can see from the back. Can you see the back of my ear?
Yeah.
So basically, the ear is a bunch of folded cartilage. It's like a really thick piece of paper. And it sticks out from my skull. So if you have your ear just smashed right up against your skull, it doesn't really function or work as an ear. It's got to have that like tuba, trumpet. It's got to come out and reach towards the sound. So there's that part. So your ear's going to come out from your skull, at least somewhat, and you'll be able to see that from the back. And that's why I had all of you lift your hair up. Ari has. Didn't Ari do that?
Maybe I forgot it.
So I feel like there's a good word for that back. It's like a timpani or something. I don't know what it is. You can see that back of the ear. Okay. The other super important part to note is that this top fold of the ear comes down into the ear canal and then dives in towards my skull. So I'm going to go down, around, and then it's literally, I got to bring it in to the skull. Take up some of this hair so you guys can see. I really like how Ari treated her hair in these big chunks. Okay, so we've got this piece of cartilage, ear flappy cartilage. It's coming down, and now it's going to join into my ear canal, and it kind of makes that funky conch shape. That you see but don't really pay attention to. The tragus, then, is that little special flap of cartilage that pops out right there. I'd love to know the purpose of the tragus. I don't really know. You'll note if you or your model has a, what's that called, a connected or attached or not attached earlobe to the cheek. And then the rest of this fold of cartilage, ear fold, does a funny kind of thing down here. So it's out from the ear, tympanum, it's got dimension, and then this top fold comes back up and tucks under that first fold. So this one goes down and into that ear canal, and this top one goes up. And again, I'm not really looking at Ari's ear, but I think you get the idea. Then, once you have your basic ear shape, okay, well, look, I've made my ear now maybe too big. If you compare it to the size of Ari's nose, right? I've dropped it a little bit. It's great. It would be a really good idea to measure again with calipers the distance from the tragus, which is this ear flap, to between your brows, to the tip of your nose, and to the tip of your chin. I would start with that, honestly, to make sure your ear hole is in the right spot. The other thing then to do is you'll look at your image or at yourself in the mirror and notice how far your ears stick out, you know, and at what angle. Like, do they stick out like that? Are they straight back? Can you see the lobes from the front of your face or not? And that's your ear. You can get as detailed or not detailed as you want. The other thing that we talked about last class, in the first Tuesday class, was hair and working with hair in volume, which is what our RA's already started here. And I wanted to highlight how unnecessary it is to draw like a straight line and like, oh, okay, there's my hair, and just put stuff on there, or be like really specific and use a tool and make really, really tiny marks. You can do that, but personally I think it looks a lot better if you don't do that, so then you have a bunch of tool marks, versus, and Ari especially has wavy hair, if we just put in larger volumes. There's like a little curl we were trying to put in. You can give yourself any hairstyle you want. So let's bring this one. And this is kind of the fun part, right? Because you can let that hair come off the sculpture. You can also, instead of, so you can lay hair on your piece, or like around the face. Sometimes it's really just as effective to just take your thumb or your fingernail and hint at the presence of hair. And draw it on. Same with the eyebrows. I think I did that one better. The direction matters, right? Sound effects help. So there's the volume. There's a volume of hair in the front. There's usually a cowlick. Sometimes there's a part. There's volumes of hair on the side at the temple that come down. And then there's, you can kind of think of the larger volume at the back as a chunk. If you had a mustache, you would notice that there's a volume of hair right in the middle here, another volume on the sides, and then a fourth and fifth volume on the edges. So just try and look at your hair in pieces instead of strands. And that is the ear and the hair. The hair.